Hello and welcome to this lesson on using loops, specifically the for loop. Now, this lesson is also tied to the coding expectations in the MTH1W curriculum, and its expectation C 2.2 and C 2.3. So in this lesson, you will learn to use the for loop. Now, here we have the solution to exercise number 1A from lesson 1. And so this is what the code looks like. So I'm just going to copy this code, and I'm just gonna copy it here for now. And let us see line by line what it actually does. So what it does first is it imports the turtle module, everything from the turtle module. And then it changes the shape of the cursor, of the pointer, to a turtle. What happens next is that we have a few statements here. So the turtle's going to move forward 100 pixels, then it will turn right 90 degrees. It will then move another 100 pixels, it will turn right again. It will move 100 pixels forward, it will turn right, and then finally it will move 100 pixels forward. So let's run this. Save it. Okay, and so what we see is that a square is drawn. Okay, by moving, the turtle draws out a square. Now, it is a lot of lines to write here, and we can kind of see how there's a lot of repetition here. We're repeating forward 100 and right 100 a few times. So is there a way in Python that we can do this more efficiently without having to write these commands repeatedly? Unfortunately, there is, and it's called a for loop. So most programming languages, higher level programming languages, have loops. Okay, and so for loop is a very common type of loop. So every programming language has a way of repeating commands and can save the programmer precious time. It also allows the code to be more compact and minimizes the chance of a typo that will prevent the code from executing or running properly. So what I want you to do now is I want you to open a new program file in IDLE or in Replit and save it as forloop.py. Okay, so I already have this file here open. I'm gonna erase this for now. So how would we write a program that displays the word hello 3 times? We can use the for loop by entering the following. Okay, so we would type for I. Now, this variable here, you can use any letter actually. It doesn't have to be I, but I is often used for index. That's what it stands for. So for I in range, and then in parentheses, 3, colon, then you would want to press enter or return to go to the next line. And notice the indentation. So this will be done for you automatically, whether you're using the IDLE, Python, or if you're using Replit, the same thing will be done. So whatever program you're using to write the code, it will do this for you. It will indent. Then we're gonna type print. So as expected, this is gonna print, and we're gonna in apostrophes write hello. So single quotes here is fine. And so let's let's run this and see what happens. Okay. And we can actually see it here. So it writes out hello 3 times. Okay. So this is known as the IDLE shell. Okay, and this is something that is basically a console that displays the output of the code. Now, how would you modify the code so that hello is displayed 10 times? Okay, so you can try this on your own to see if you can figure it out. So you can you can pause this video and come back to it. So let's modify it now. So if I want it to be 10 times, what happens if we put 10 here, right? If we put 10, then we run this, let's save it, or just let's run it, it will save. It will ask us to save. So how many times is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so it repeats it 10 times. Okay, now looking next at the code here, for I in range in parentheses 10, colon, print I, what do you think this code will do? So think about that. You can pause the video. Okay, so because counting begins at 0 rather than 1 in Python, for I in range 10, gives us the number 0 for 9. So let's do that here. We're going to put I, print I in parentheses. Let's run this. And here we see the numbers 0 to 9. So the first index, so Python starts counting at 0. Okay, so 0 to 9 is 10 numbers there. Now, how would you modify the code so that it prints the numbers 1 to 10 then? Rather than 0 to 9 or 0 to 10. You can add a number to I in the print statement. Okay, so you can pause the video to try to figure that out. Okay, so one way of doing this is adding a +1 to the I here in parentheses. So print and then in parentheses I plus 1. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to save. Well, we can see here the numbers 1 to 10 now. Now, this isn't the only way to do this. An alternative way is this range function actually accepts 2 parameters, or even more than 2. And so what I could do is I could put 1 comma 10, then get rid of this +1. Let me save this now. I'm going to run. And it gives me, well, actually, it gives me 1 to 9. Okay, because it actually does not, it actually never actually reaches this last value. It stops right before 10. Okay, so if I actually wanted to go to 1 to 10, I would actually have to put 11 here. And so that's something to be aware of. Let's try this again. And now I get 1 to 10. Okay, so it's always, this number here is always 1 extra. Okay, that's something to be aware of for loops. So in exercise number 1A, you wrote code that made the turtle draw out a square, but this involved repeating the same code a few times. Your next task is to modify the logoturtle.py program so that it contains a for loop and avoids having to enter the same code multiple times. Okay, so good luck completing this exercise.